Welcome back, everyone. This is Super Kelly Brothers Podcast, episode 155 for the 23rd of January 2022. My name's Sloan Kelly.
My name's Jody Kelly.
Welcome back to a fun-packed episode. We've got quite a bit of news today.
Topics.
T is for topics. But yeah, it's been a busy week, entertainment-wise, as far as the news is concerned. But how's your week? How's your week been? You were in Glasgow yesterday?
Yeah, we had a wee overnighter. Couldn't get any pubs.
Nice.
We had to do a sob story to get into one of the pubs. Well, I say we, Evelyn did. We've come all this way. It was a present from my mum. All this kind of stuff. And we can't get into any pubs because we've not booked anywhere. Before you say, listeners, before you say, you dummy, you should have booked. I like a wee bit of kind of...
Spontaneity,
yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Which didn't bode well, actually, because but anyway, it did. The sob story worked.
How's spontaneity working out for you?
And we got into 2 pubs.
Well done.
2 or 3. Well done. But the hotel we're staying in, a lot of the price, part of the price was you got access to their executive lounge, which means that in the afternoon you get free tea and coffee or juice. And like a high tea with you know what that is, don't you? Sandwiches and cakes and things like that. Yeah. And then at night time you get complimentary drinks, and you get a cheese board at the end of the night.
What?
Yeah,
that was good.
I know, brilliant.
And then you sat up late and watched Pink Floyd.
I did. Well, everyone was lying asleep at that point, so I was like flicking.
Was the cheese board that would have done it? I would have thought.
Well, we also had a complimentary mini bar as well in the room. So there was 2 Budweisers in there, so I thought, well, it'd be rude not to polish them off as well.
It would be, yeah.
And so I sat watching Nick Mason's Saucer Full of Secrets.
Yeah.
Gary Kemp on lead. Very good, by the way. Yeah. Did you watch a bit of it?
I did, yeah. I watched the
See Emily play and stuff.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Really good.
Funnily, and this is where we start hemorrhaging viewers, but and listeners. But yeah, I started watching. I was listening to Piper at the
Gates of Dawn.
Piper at the Gates of Dawn, which I think is the first album. I think it's called Pink Floyd in North America, the album, but it's called Piper at the Gates of Dawn in the UK. It's very good. Yeah. I didn't know it was that good. I'm like, that's Sid Barrett's genius.
Well, I was actually just meaning that the new band that Nick Mason. I don't know. I know this was maybe about 4 or 5 years old, right enough when I got this together. To be fair, it's all the Sid Barrett stuff.
It's all early Pink Floyd stuff, but because he figured there was a market for it, and he's probably right because the Australian was it Australian Pink Floyd? They do The Wall and sort of those kind of things.
Well-known stuff.
So yeah, nobody's going to do the earlier stuff. So he's probably right. There probably is. And going by the fact it was the Albert Hall, I think he was.
Definitely.
But he was supposed to play Toronto.
Was he?
4 or 5 days ago.
Really?
Yeah. So it's still an ongoing. Well, it would be an ongoing concern if it hadn't been for COVID. But yeah, I'm assuming that as soon as the restrictions lift, they'll be back in North America touring. So
very good band.
If you like
He's
that
got
kind of stuff.
Together. I don't know who the other guys are, but it was bound to be somebody we know. Like when we were watching Fish, and it was like the guy from Kino and that bike.
Yes, right. Yeah, the guitarist who doesn't. So he's what was interesting about that was that he doesn't go through an amp. The guy from Kino.
Oh, really?
No, he just goes straight through the PA.
Oh, right.
Which is interesting.
Because we watched the making of it after.
The making of, yeah.
Not interesting to people listening to this, though. So let's move on.
No, let's move on. Shall we talk about the tea?
Yeah.
So we'll start with sad news because it's the obituary. Normally you do the and finally, but we like to start with the sad news and build up to crescendo. Meatloaf passed this week, as did Louis Anderson.
Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson. He gets a name in death.
That
and his
wasn't
name is
Meatloaf's
Robert Paulson.
real name, though. That was
No,
his
no,
name
it was
in Fight Club.
Michael somewhere or other. Can't remember his name.
Michael Meatloaf.
Michael Meatloaf. Well, his name's Robert Paulson in death. And Louis Anderson as well, who is king of the. Do you want some more sweet potatoes?
Yeah, he's a funny wee guy.
He's a funny guy. Yeah. Do you know? Apparently, he lost money in a card game. There's a great story about him. He lost money in a card game in LA, and he flew to Las Vegas, won it all back.
Yeah,
there you go. So he's got some good stories there. But yeah, sad news. We were never really big. You absolutely hated the music of Meatloaf and Jim Steinbrenner.
I know it's cruel to say because he's died, but I dreaded the day he was going to die because I thought, oh God, it's going to be all I'm going to hear about. No, it's going to be all I'm going to hear, and it's going to be like, Meatloaf this, Meatloaf that. Oh, I remember that song. Oh, you must like that song. I'm like, no, I don't like any of it.
You actively hated it. Like I didn't like. It was flatline as far as music's concerned. It was like I wouldn't turn it off, but I wouldn't actively go out and listen to it either.
It bugged me. R.I.P. by the way.
But as an actor, he was great.
Yeah.
he played Robert Paulson in Fight Club, which, funnily enough, I watched, and we'll get to this when we later on after the news. But I actually watched Fight Club the night before he died, which is kind of spooky. Yeah,
there you go.
So yeah, it was kind of weird the fact that was that whole I am Jax, whatever it was, and his name is Robert Paulson was like front and center in my head when he died. So so as far as I'm concerned, he'll always be remembered for me as Bob from the testicular cancer meetings in
definitely
Fight Club.
Me too. This is his best work in my opinion.
Yeah.
And don't get me started about his appearance in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, because to me that is how Meatloaf is in my head. That big
Eddie,
brazen American, like
Eddie,
driving his driving his bike through a wall and all that. That's how I think of Meatloaf.
You're not a fan of like American rock, like middle of the road rock. You don't like Bruce Springsteen or any of that stuff. You don't like John Cougar Mellencamp.
It's too American.
Do you like what's his name? Steve Hartman. What's his name?
I can't relate to it.
Whatever his name is. Copperhead Road. That guy.
I can't relate to that stuff.
I quite like it. It's a bit kind of what was it? Prefab Sprout had Cars and Girls. Cars and Girls. Yeah. It's a bit that, but
I can't relate to it.
It's fine. Middle of the road.
Yeah.
Anyway, so sad when obviously when people die.
Still sad though, of course.
Still very sad. Yeah. Anyway, moving along. Microsoft made a bit of a purchase this week, which I sent you a text and you wrote back, okay, like it was nothing. And it was about 2 hours later. You went, oh my God, this is huge. I'm like, that's the response I wanted. Yes.
I didn't actually realise until I started reading about it. I'm like, bloody hell.
It's
huge.
They own
Call of Duty now. And
they own everything.
Well, even Candy Crush and stuff like that, which is like the biggest mobile game ever, which is massive money for them, apparently. Candy Crush. Yeah. There's a lot of folks saying, why is Candy Crush on there? But that's huge.
It's massive. It's a big game. So so they now own. Well, sorry, that's not true. They're in the process of buying. It needs to go into regulatory, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff. The FTC's got to look into it. There's other parts of the world that have got to look into it. But if they did join forces, Xbox, Activision, Blizzard, and King, they would still only be the third biggest games company in the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The number 2 games company is Sony, and the number 1 games company is Tencent.
Who?
There you go. It's a Chinese multinational. You've probably seen them in front of like games. They own a bit of Epic Mega Games.
Right.
They've released movies as well. There's Tencent Pictures as well. You've probably seen a movie by them.
Probably.
But yeah, they're a massive entertainment company.
Right.
They're the number one. They own Supercell. They get Riot Games guys. Is it? Who is it? Supercell?
Splinter Cell.
No, Supercell.
Supercell, don't know what that is.
Supercell, mobile game company, Helsinki. I'm sure that they're part of. Trying to do this on the fly. Yeah, they're part of Tencent Holdings. Yeah, Tencent Holdings, Chinese multinational, video games, foreign gaming investments. So they own bits of Funcom, they own a bit of Riot Games, which is League of Legends, those guys. They own part of Sumo Group, which is kind of funny because I've been playing one of their games recently, which is Crackdown 3. Supercell, obviously, Epic Games, Pocket Games. This is just Ubisoft, they own a bit of them, they own a bit of Activision Blizzard. They own a bit of Voodoo, Roblox, you name it.
Yeah, right. Okay, but excuse my ignorance here, but we've just said that Microsoft has bought Activision Blizzard, so
yes, they bought the majority. They bought the company, which means that they'll no longer have a share in it once
this
they bought it.
This crowd just owns shares of lots of different companies then, but they're
yes,
but they're making more money than.
Yeah, but they're on the seat of boards for most of these companies as well. So, so the big story is Activision, Blizzard, and King are going to be bought by Microsoft. They haven't been bought yet. So there's an announcement made about them being bought. But yeah, I mean, it's huge. It's like, big games there. Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, StarCraft, Candy Crush. Like these are massive games.
And then at the bottom as well there, see the Wii logos at the bottom.
Yep, that's all the studios that Activision Blizzard owns. So yeah, so you get Treyarch, you've got Raven. So that's and here's the crazy thing, Crash Bandicoot, which was the Sony the mascot, unofficial mascot of Sony's PlayStation, is now going to be under the control of Microsoft. And Tony Hawk as well.
Which used to be always a Sony staple.
Yep.
But also the effect that had on Sony's shares
plummeted.
Plummet.
Yep. I think it was like I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, so it's had a massive effect rather on Sony.
Yeah, 20 billion. 20 billion knocked off your market cap. That's not insignificant.
That's not short change.
Yeah, I think the panic was that Microsoft would just go like, well, you're not getting Call of Duty anymore, but that's not the case because Minecraft's everywhere. And let's face it, so Microsoft now owns Minecraft. They own Bethesda. Which includes all the Elder Scrolls stuff, Fallout, Doom, all of that, all the ZeniMax stuff. But Phil Spencer was on some podcast and goes, no. He says we're still going to do Call of Duty for PlayStation because it's some huge market. Why wouldn't you do it for it?
Oh no, but what will happen is it will come out exclusively out for Xbox first.
Probably, yeah.
Then a month later, you'll probably get it in PlayStation. Do you know what I mean?
Probably
they'll do something like that.
It's going to be, and
they'll probably be exclusive extras only for Xbox. The same way that Sony did it to Xbox owners as well with the Avengers game. Spider-Man is only available for Sony PlayStation, not available on Xbox. Yeah. So it's tit for tat, but it's business is business.
Exactly.
It's not show friends. Show business.
Exactly. There's also the big play for mobile as well, which is what everyone's doing, and the purchase of Activision Blizzard gives them King, which is also part of that as well. So that's huge as well. So all of this also means that at some point Activision Blizzard and King games will now be part of Game Pass.
Yes. On day one.
Which is huge as well. I don't know how they're making money on it. How are they making money on Game Pass? So we all pay our $17 a month. How can we get all those games for $17 a month?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because right, the whole point. This is my understanding of console. Right,
Mhm.
the companies don't really make the money on the console. That's why sometimes
That's
the
right. Yeah.
console, they make a loss. Like Xbox has made a
Mhm.
loss sometimes on consoles.
Yeah.
They make their money on the software. So,
Except
like
for
you
Nintendo.
say,
Nintendo makes a profit on every single console.
well,
They're the only ones that do it. Everyone
that does
else
not
it's a
surprise me.
loss leader. Yeah, well,
Yeah,
yeah, because they want the money up front.
yeah.
They are.
But so how can Game Pass work? Do people not trust it, or I
Don't
don't know?
know. I mean,
Especially it's day one release stuff they're putting on there.
speaking as a very every penny's a prisoner type person, paying $17 a month for the ability to play any game pretty much that I want to play
Huh?
is a no brainer.
Even
Like,
just to jump in and try, dip your
yeah,
toe in type thing, just to
yeah,
something you might not normally play,
hmm
that's not your normally
exactly,
your
yeah.
cup of tea. You can just go, I
Just
think I'll
jump in,
try it.
yeah. So I will be playing Undertale, for example, which is a game I probably
Huh?
wouldn't have picked up, but
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna play it on Xbox at
yep.
some point.
Nice one.
So yeah, somebody recommended it to me at work. But yeah, this is huge. I think this is a huge announcement. Not in a bad, like, people were concerned that, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I think for the consumer, it's a good thing.
Mhm.
I think it levels the playing field between those three players
Yep.
a little bit better than before, um, and it might solve some of Activision's current problems.
Yeah. I mean, they're obviously thinking long term as well. This isn't a short term for
No, no,
Microsoft.
no, no.
They're thinking long term.
Yeah.
How
Apparently, this
this
is
is
half
going
the
to be.
cash they've got.
Yeah.
They bought it with
Yeah.
cash, or they're buying it with cash,
Yeah.
and apparently this is half the cash that they've got. So they still have another Activision to buy.
Yeah. And I was reading as well that if you think about how much it cost for Disney to buy George Lucas, Lucasfilm,
Yeah.
Star Wars, and all that,
Mhm.
I think that was 40. Was it billion or million?
Oh, no, for Star Wars,
Uh huh.
Star Wars was 4 billion.
4 billion.
Four.
But is this not seven?
It's no, it's 68 point something billion.
All right. Okay. There you go.
Uh,
I mean, it's like a
where is it?
huge investment.
Microsoft will acquire Activision Blizzard for $95 per share in an all-cash transaction,
Yes, that was the other thing I was going to say.
valued
Uh,
at 68.7
yeah,
billion.
yeah. There was no credit or nothing like that. It
No,
was
no credit, no
cash.
nothing.
Here you
It's
go.
just, I'll write you a check.
Hard cash.
Yeah, hard
Hmm.
cash. I'm assuming it'll be some kind of suitcase in the basement of somewhere. They're
Uh-huh.
going to kick it over, and then they're going to give the lease to there. So this
Yeah.
also includes Activision Blizzard's net cash, which I'm sure they've got a bit of a war chest as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, they're getting some of that money back straight away.
Not bad, is it?
It's pretty good. When the transaction closes, Microsoft will become the world's third largest gaming company by revenue, behind Tencent and Sony. Planned acquisition includes iconic franchises, and we mentioned those franchises. In addition to global esports activities through Major League Gaming, the company has studios around the world with nearly 10,000 employees.
Wow.
Crazy,
There you go.
crazy times. Yeah,
Sometimes indeed.
I
Yeah,
know
so
it was
they are swooping up those. They're scooping up
yeah,
some big deal game companies
yeah,
there.
yeah.
Some big deal franchises.
Oh yeah. Um, um, Keeping it with video games, this dropped the other day there, and we'll probably get a copyright strike because it's Warner Brothers.
Uh-oh.
This is the new
Oh,
Lego
yeah, man.
Skywalker Saga.
This
This
looks
does
good.
not. This does not look like a Lego game.
This looks
Like,
good,
I
man.
know it looks exactly like a Lego game, but there's bits in it where it's like that they've never done this before.
No,
Like the targeting,
Yeah. Yeah.
the free world
Combo
aspect of it,
fights and stuff.
combo fights, yeah.
Mhm.
The free world aspect of it as well. So
Yep.
you can go to a hub in the world,
Yep.
and you can decide if you just want to explore.
Yep.
Guess what I'll be doing?
I know. Oh man, it looks great. Yeah,
It looks
definitely.
fantastic. It
Graphics
looks
looks fantastic.
Yeah, and I love all the menus in there as well. They look really clean. And like this looks amazing.
I know.
This looks really good.
This
It's got
game,
mumble mode, which
it's
is
been
huge.
it's been delayed a fair bit though, hasn't it?
This is the downside of it. It's been delayed a few bit, and apparently it's been crunch-tastic for the developers. So thoughts and all that kind of stuff go out to you guys, because guys and gals, because crunch is not fun, and especially extended periods of crunch. But
What is crunch, Sloan?
crunch is when you work for an extended period of time over your core hours. So if you work 40 hours a week, which is typical, you probably end up working 60 to 80 hours a week,
right?
To ship the game.
Whoa! So they're going for it.
It takes a toll on you both physically and mentally, and it does, because I've been there myself. So, it's that aside, it looks amazing. We obviously, as game players, we don't really see that part of the business, but this is the product of it. So this is why, just looks amazing. Yep. It's got the old jokes in it with the old lightsaber.
Yeah, the humor in Lego games are always good, and Lego games are absolutely fantastic. I think they're some of the best games out.
Yeah.
And of course, you'll be getting this for nothing in your Game Pass.
Will I?
Day one.
Is this day one Game Pass?
Of course you will.
No.
You don't need to buy that. You wouldn't need to buy that.
Game Pass. Xbox. Does it say?
Did it not say at the top there? See the very top?
Uh-huh.
There, to the right, available. Or it just says pre-order.
It just says pre-order. I don't know if I'll be in that for...
I think that'll be day one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hey, I don't want to be that you haven't should buy Microsoft console, but I'm super happy with the Xbox. It's amazing in every aspect. It's great. It's got a nice clean interface. They listen to people, because the Xbox One I did not like, but this time around they've cleaned it up a little bit, and it's so much better. But yeah,
nice,
superb.
Yeah, man. I think we're both looking forward to this one. Definitely.
Yeah, this looks great. Love it. And little teddy bear. There's one other one. Was there another one there? No, I don't think there was. There was, yes. Hitman on Game Pass.
Yes. Now, we have Hitman on Hitman Trilogy, the new trilogy, which I think is up for all sorts of awards because it's really good. And the third game, well, I thought just the third game was available in VR for the PlayStation, but then I thought to myself, right, it's now available in Game Pass, so let's download it and let's try it with the Oculus, because it's, sure enough, it works with Oculus. And not just Hitman 3, Hitman 1 and 2 are virtual reality as well. But then we started playing it, and see the big difference in playing it with a controller, and then you're in this guy's head, and it's hands around somebody's neck and stuff like that. It's not cool.
No,
it just feels like serial killer the game.
Oh, really?
But you're like, in there, so it was like, nah, we're putting that off.
Oh dear. Dear.
Yeah,
that's not so good.
It just seemed wrong. You're punching people properly in the face and stuff, and that just seemed wrong. So I was like, no, we're not playing this.
Yeah. So it's a little bit less personal when you play it like third person, sneaking around and sniping people in the back of the head.
It doesn't seem that bad, but it's a bit too real.
Yeah, bit too go to sleep type stuff.
Yeah. Well, there is that, yeah, as well. You kind of choked somebody out and stuff. Just doesn't seem right.
Yikes.
Didn't like it.
Yeah.
So, but great game. Get it. Great game.
Cool. I have. Let's move into the world of movies. Bad news for you, Jody.
What?
Mission Impossible 7 and 8 are postponed.
No! We haven't actually continued our Tom Cruise fest.
Tom Cruisical?
For a few weeks, yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
Well, you're going to have to delay it a little bit longer.
I need to keep going. We're still going through our Marvel stuff, so...
Oh, right, okay, for the chronological order one.
So
nice.
We probably started the Mission Impossible one too early.
Yeah. I think we're planning on going through Mission Impossible after we've finished Bond. Because we just finished Quantum of Solace. So we're catching up.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, we should probably go back and watch Never Say Never Again.
Yeah.
We should probably do that to complete the whole thing. But it's not really any on production, so we could probably skip it.
Yeah, Little Tommy. Great films.
Good Tommy. Yeah.
I didn't realise they were doing them back to back, actually, filming them back to back, 7 and 8.
Yeah.
It's cheaper doing it that way for them. I think it makes sense.
It is, yeah.
That's why they do it.
Yeah.
But, 2024.
Yeah, 2023 and 24, that's when they're going to come out. So
wow.
I think they're scheduled for this year, and then the whole COVID thing kind of threw them into a cocked hat. So,
well, I think he's very cautious. Remember the time, was it last year when they were during filming?
Yes, when he was shouting at crew members.
He went through somebody for not wearing a mask or not sanitizing and stuff.
It's true,
quite rightly. I mean, he's like one of the main producers. You do that in front of Tom Cruise, you're like, you're an idiot, you know.
It's interesting. It's interesting. Did you ever watch the Alec Baldwin thing?
No, I didn't.
George
Stephanopoulos,
no.
Disney Plus,
or his name is, Disney Plus. So he does this thing where he goes, well, there's two types of producer. There's producers that get hands involved and like they're all about the hiring and firing and all that kind of stuff, and then there's producers that just deal with the talent and like kind of they do other things, vague things about that, and then you get Tom Cruise who's screaming at people because he's one of the producers, and he cares passionately about this project. I think he cares passionately about every project he's involved in, but that's the kind of guy he is. But especially the Mission Impossible movies, because it makes a lot of money for Paramount, and obviously the pressure's on and all that kind of stuff. But it's interesting the fact that he acted more like a producer there and didn't shy away from that.
He wanted. I mean, I know he's got his issues and things like that with Scientology and things like that. But at the end of the day, he's a great actor, makes great movies. He's clearly a great producer, and he's shouting at somebody for the right reasons, not for the wrong reasons. He's wanting these people to be part of the solution, not the problem.
Yeah,
and to get to keep cinema going type thing, So,
I mean, yes, Tom Cruise does have a lot of issues and off screen, but I'll tell you one thing: I've yet to see a bad Tom Cruise movie that I've watched. So,
very rare.
So
I'm trying to think. I can.
Yeah, even that one with Cameron Diaz that everyone hated, I liked. Night and Day, I think it was.
Night and Day.
Yeah. Other bad news for you, I'm afraid.
Oh.
It's nothing but bad news for you. Knives Out 2's got a release.
Oh, crikey.
Expected fall, which is autumn in the UK. This year, Knives Out 2. So was he New Orleans detective? Is that where he's from?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He was good in it, though.
Yep.
He
was, yeah.
You can't beat a bit of Danny Craig.
That's true. So he's back as well. Obviously, he's detective, along with Benoit Blanc. and Ryan Johnson obviously helming it for Netflix. So this is straight to streaming. This is not a theatre. Well, sorry, I'll get a theatre release, but it'll be one of those ones where it's inside the TMZ and for a week and then that kind of stuff.
Do we need it?
No.
Do we want it?
Knives Out was advertised as one of those. Oh, it redefines cinema. You know those movies.
Aye, redefines the genre.
Redefines the genre, and you're going like, okay, this is going to be good. Then you go in, and it was not good. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't the best movie ever.
No,
I mean, I could see the twist coming down.
I definitely think it's totally overrated.
Yeah,
and well, the twist. I mean, I don't know. I just, you know me. Let's not go there.
I know. In other bizarre things, and we'll probably get a copyright strike for this as well. This is Joe versus Carole, which is the Joe Exotic Carole Baskin TV series that is on Peacock.
So is this the movie that Nick Cage was meant to be playing? Or is this something different?
No, this is something different. That guy looks really good as him. He's actually a wee bit too thin, but he looks pretty good as him.
Yeah, he does. I think they both are well cast, actually. Yeah.
And he's the what's his face? Kel MacLachlan is
is it a series?
It's a series on Peacock.
We get Peacock here.
Oh, really? We don't.
Really?
No.
Seriously?
Because it's all carried by Crave.
All right.
We get it. Once you get it.
We get it through Sky.
No, we don't get it.
It's like a streaming service thing. Yeah. It's free. Free to Sky.
Oh, is it?
So we should be able to see that. When's that coming out?
It's a teaser. It doesn't say. Let me see if I can find it. Joe versus
I mean, I never even knew that was coming at all. Obviously, we're talking. It's basically the Tiger King story, but it's been dramatised for Peacock.
You don't have to wait long. March 3rd.
Wow, brilliant!
There you
Excellent.
Looking for. I'll be looking forward to watching it. I sometimes think that Kate McKinnon is a bit much, as was once quoted in The Spy Who Dumped Me. But she used to be good. I don't know. I don't know what's happened. Like the fame's gone to her head or something. But there's better people on Saturday Night Live. Please choose someone else to do things.
I'm trying to think what film I saw her in last.
Cecily Strong, Aidy Bryant, Heidi Gardner,
Pete Davidson.
These are all. Well, I was thinking about female cast members.
Oh, females,
because they always seem to just go, oh, let's get Kate to do it. It's like there's other cast members there that are equally as good in those roles. Anyway, all right. Where are we now? This is a bizarre one. This is a crazy one. I think we'll make this the last story because it was just strange. Fans are suing Universal Pictures over Yesterday.
The movie Yesterday.
And so there was a subplot featuring Ana de Armas. That's her there, pictured yesterday. From No Time to Die.
Yes.
And also
Blade Runner
2049.
And Knives Out.
And so apparently they paid $3.99 for the comedy Yesterday, only to discover the actress had been removed from the final cut, and they were gutted.
Wow!
Because, and I swear to God, this is true, they fell victims of deceptive marketing, and that Universal used Armis's fame, radiance, and brilliance to promote the film that she wasn't in.
Unbelievable.
I mean, do they have a case though?
Probably not.
It is, well, maybe though, because it's kind of false advertising when you think about it. Because if you're let's say you are a huge fan of somebody in a movie, and you're like, oh, yeah, good, she's in it. I'll go and see that. Like, imagine if you you think to yourself, oh, the new Tom Cruise movie's out because they feature Tom Cruise heavily.
Yeah.
And he's only in it for one scene and they cut him. Would you not be annoyed? I mean, I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
I tell you something. I'm annoyed when Netflix does it to me, where they put like Matthew McConaughey on a poster.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, cool, he's going to be the main character. And he's in it for like a second. And he's just going, just getting some gas. That's it.
Can I just, sorry, can I leave the room?
Oh, yes, sure, you can.
Right.
Yes. 1 second. Don't go just yet. He's going. We'll be back in just a second. Shall I ask you the question? What you watching?
Oh yeah.
So the question we're all dying to ask you is, what have you been watching this week?
I don't remember.
I don't recall. Do you have any memory of it at all?
I've actually been watching kind of rubbish stuff. Well, I've been watching kind of trashy stuff.
Mhm.
I've been watching celebrity date thing. And
Okay.
it's really quite sad. But the comedian that does it, called Rob Beckett, see the see the talk when he talks over it,
Uh-huh.
it is utterly priceless for watching. It's like you watching the mystery science theater. The guy's slagging off what's going on. It's priceless.
Okay.
So it's worth watching for his
just that.
comments, because the people on it are just. It's like Rika Johnson, and then some people from other reality shows and stuff that aren't really famous.
Mhm.
So it's funny for that. And there's a wee guy on it, a 21-year-old, this posh boy that was in The Apprentice, who is an utter disgrace to humanity. He's horrible to everybody and doesn't even realise he's doing it. He's like really, really flamboyant. Not flamboyant, but he's very. He's a gay guy, right? Let's
Okay.
not be about the bush. But he's just so
over the top.
I don't know. It's just so offensive to everybody. I don't even think he realises he's being offensive. Like, the guy will be like, I'm from, where are you from? And the guy will be like, I'm from Wales. And he's like, oh, is that just not the smelliest place? And everybody, lives with sheep in their houses and all that. And, it's just,
what?
It's just.
Okay.
So there's that. Friday night's movie, we watched The Thing. John Carpenter.
The original one.
The original one, aye. Kurt Russell, obviously. And Danny had never seen it. And it was a belter of a film to watch.
Huh.
I'd forgotten how... I've not seen it for a good wee while, and I'd forgotten how well the special effects hold up, because they're all practical, obviously. And what a great film.
Yeah, really good.
And the tension that builds, between who's been infected by the thing.
What is Kurt Russell's character's name?
Mick. Well, it's Mac.
R.J. McCready.
McCready.
He's got the minor 49er hat.
That's right, aye. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In fact, we were this close to going to Forbidden Planet today, because obviously we're up in Glasgow overnight, and so we went for breakfast in Sauchiehall Street, and I was like, right, I want to go to Forbidden Planet. Walked past it, closed.
Oh, no way.
It's meant to be open at 10 o'clock on a Sunday. It's closed. Huh. We walked past it about 12, half 11, 12 o'clock. Shut.
Maybe they're going for lunch.
Gutted. They only opened at 10, though.
I mean, lunch.
I blame COVID.
Yeah, obviously.
Mm-hmm. We started watching The Tragedy of Macbeth on Apple TV.
With Denzel.
The big Denzinator. Aye. Which I didn't know what to expect. Apple TV? It's on Apple TV now, aye.
Oh, is it?
Uh-huh. Frances McDormand.
Yeah, she plays Lady Macbeth.
Yep. I didn't realise it was going to be like as kind of traditionally a Macbeth, because the title wasn't just Macbeth.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be something different, but
it's just straight on Macbeth.
It's all the flowery language and stuff, which is good, But me and Evelyn, I don't know if Evelyn was struggling, but I was kind of going, God, thank God I know the story, because what they're talking about is absolutely gobbledygook. Yep, that's the one. And
the focus, there you go, play.
Yeah, but beautifully directed, brilliantly acted. The set, it's the way it's set up and stuff like that, and the imagery is terrific as well. Mm-hmm. The way they do the three witches in particular at the start, very good.
Who's got the tooth? That's a different witch.
That is a different witch.
That's the fates, or what they're called in Greek
mythology.
Whatever they're called. The three witches. I can't remember. They've got a tooth and an eye and something else.
Aye. Is that? Well,
that is them, isn't it?
That is three witches. But there's none of that in this one. There are three crows actually in this. Spoilers. But anyway.
The Grey witches. Grey sisters. Shared one eye and one tooth amongst them.
There you go.
Not to be confused with the ones that predict something's going to happen in Burnham.
Burnham Woods.
In Burnham Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Near Dunkeld. Uh-huh. For all y'all wanting a reference.
On the road to...
Zanzibar.
Nope. On the road to... Pitlochry.
Yes.
It's the road between
Perth
and Pitlochry. Burnham
Woods.
Is it? There you go. Yeah.
I don't know that.
That's where Mum had a caravan.
Yeah, it was. Dunkeld.
Dunkeld.
In Burnham Wood.
There you go. And we have been watching Afterlife, which is...
Getting through it.
Eh?
Getting through it.
No, that's good. I mean, that's really good. We should have finished it by now. I think we're episode 4, or 2 episodes to go. So I think that's the final one as well. So
yeah,
so that's been good. That's a really solid show, that
Yeah.
And I think there's been a couple of other things, but I can't.
Boba Fett. You watched Boba Fett?
I watched the Boba
because we watch Boba Fett as a reaction video on the following Thursday. Indeed. So the next day we watch the reaction video on this very channel.
Yes, so you'll get what we think about it every Thursday.
Yeah. So obviously, if you want a time reminder, you want to hit the old subscribe button and notification bell, and throw one of those things up, and then you'll get the algos we'll tell you when things happened. Did you watch Asteroid yet?
No.
You need to watch that. It's on Prime Video. It's terrible. You need to watch it though. It's really bad.
I do need to watch it. I need to get a
so
notepad,
bad.
don't I?
Yeah.
I get a notepad.
Yeah, notepad in your phone.
No, I don't actually. Don't think so.
All phones came with a notepad.
I did as well.
Like note.
Unless it's part of my Google, maybe it's that. Maybe it's part of the thing.
Maybe. Or tasks or something. Well, we watched What We Do in the Shadows. We've been watching that for.
Oh,
we started watching
TV?
it last week. Yeah,
TV show.
TV show. Yeah, with Matt Berry. I don't know why, but every single time he transforms into Bat, he goes Bat.
Aye.
It makes me laugh. At one point as well, he returned to normal as a human form.
Have you watched the film though?
No,
You should watch the film first.
I know. I don't think it matters whether you watch it or not. It's completely different vampires. But yeah, one of them's an energy vampire called Colin Robinson.
I don't think I've seen the film, but I'm pretty sure I've not. I don't think I've watched the TV series.
Yeah, he bores people. This guy Colin Robinson, and then feasts on them by going like this.
So where are you watching that? Is that on Prime or Netflix?
Oh god, Disney Plus.
Oh, of course, right. Sorry,
It's FX.
Yeah, okay.
It's really funny.
Good.
Yeah, obviously in Boba Fett. And I mentioned earlier on as well that I watched Fight Club.
Oh yes, aye.
Which so I went into the reason why I wanted to watch Fight Club is because a couple of months ago I had this craving for watching Fight Club, so I bought it. It was like $6.99 or something to buy, or $4.99 to rent. I'm like, I'll just buy it. So I bought it and then forgot all about it. And then a couple of days ago, well, just before Meatloaf's death, I was like, oh yeah, Fight Club. I forgot about that. So I sat and watched it. And the reason why I wanted to watch it in the first place was I wanted to watch it from the point of view of knowing that he has a split personality.
Spoilers.
For a 24-year-old movie. If you haven't watched Fight Club by now, stop what you're doing and go watch Fight Club.
Oh man, absolutely.
You're not gonna regret it. Anyway, so spoilers from this point on. So I wanted to watch it from the perspective of knowing that he had a split personality and how different people react to him in his split personalities, and it is brilliantly done. Like when you know the conceit of the movie, it's so good. Like the bit where she goes to Paper Street at the very end, and he's screaming at her, "Tyler doesn't live here anymore," because to her, he is Tyler. Yeah, and he's screaming, and like she doesn't explain anything. She just kind of like walks off, like disgusted by him. Yeah. It's the same thing as well. Like he goes to the kitchen first, and then when she comes downstairs, he's now the narrator. And not Tyler. And they have this completely different discussion. She's all like, "Hey, baby," and he's like, "Piss it off." Yeah, kind of stuff to her.
There's certain movies I'd love to watch with Danny, but he's just too young. You couldn't
watch that.
No chance.
No. Especially the projection scene.
Much older. There was a number of scenes in it.
I love it. The whole thing
too risky.
Oh, yeah. And we watched Quantum of Solace, which is our next encounter in the whole James Bond movies. Nearly finished them. I'm liking Daniel Craig as James Bond. I can see why he was chosen in the role.
Yep.
Quantum of Solace, not as good as
No.
Casino Royale.
I think everybody agrees that I think it's that one that's the weakest out of them all.
Yeah.
I think that's that one.
Yeah.
What's next? Is it Skyfall next?
Skyfall. Yeah.
And then what's
See,
the one after
Skyfall's
that?
a bit Home Alone as well at the end.
I like Skyfall.
Yeah. Then it's Spectre, and then
Spectre's good. Spectre's good.
Yeah.
And
that's the one with Christoph Waltz, isn't it? He plays Blofeld.
Yes.
Yeah.
And No Time to Die is
spoilers.
Yeah. Quantum Solace. Then that's the one that most people kind of agree wasn't the best, and some people don't like Skyfall.
Yeah,
Skyfall was one of the biggest ones, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was helped by Adele's song. To be honest,
I don't know about that.
But this is the strange enough the song that is Jack White and Alicia Keys did the one for Quantum of Solace. It's pretty good actually. It's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. The plot was a bit weird. It felt a bit like oh God, what's the Tomorrow one? Tomorrow Never Dies? Is it Tomorrow Never Dies? The one with Carver Media?
Yep.
It felt a bit like that. Like it wasn't as strong an idea as previous Bonds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It didn't feel as good as it. The action sequences were great.
Who's the baddie again in that one? I forget.
I don't know the actor's name. I've seen him in a couple of things, but like you'd blink and miss him kind of thing. That's what I'm saying. Is he's not a good bad guy. He's just kind of creepy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's like a industrialist, but he's in league with whoever the big bads are.
Right.
But that's not revealed in the movie. I'm assuming it's Spectre, considering that 2 movies down the road, it's Spectre.
Yeah.
Is the name of the movie. Yeah, it's okay. Paul Ritter's in it though, which I thought was funny. Paul Ritter's the lad from Friday Night Dinner and Chernobyl. He plays the supervisor.
Yes.
In the 4-part. Yeah, the 4-part Chernobyl miniseries. There's 5. Missed the best one.
There's 7 parts, Sloan.
It's not 7 parts. There's only 5. And the 5th one is the best. It was one of the best episodes. Although the one with the miners stripped down to the
oh, I know.
It's hilarious.
What a show.
But anyway, I digress. What was the topic? Yeah, Paul Ritter's in it, so that was kind of nice to see him again. He's a great actor, and his comic timing was phenomenal. Yeah, R.I.P. Paul. And he can play quite menacing, which is weird.
Oh yeah,
given the fact that he plays this kind of like bumbling fool in Friday Night Dinner. And games-wise, this is it. So when we first started this podcast, we were doing movies, TV shows, and games, and we never talked about the games part of things. So it's kind of nice the fact that we are bringing that back.
Well, actually, I've just before you go in there, I've resurrected my Switch. And got my controllers working. It's working lovely. I've started playing Ocarina of Time, which I had previously never. I'd played it, and I played Ocarina of Time when it came out and beat the game.
What is an ocarina?
It's a little kind of.
It's a clay pot with holes in it that you blow into it and it makes noises. It's like a flute thing. Do you know how I know what that is? Do you know how I know what ocarina is? An ocarina is.
Because it's in the game.
No. It's in Monty Python's Meaning of Life. Give that to me, boy. What is it? It's an ocarina, sir.
Oh yes, of course. There you go.
That's the only reason I know what an ocarina is.
But yeah, so I've been playing that. So I thought, right, if I'm going to get seriously into this, I need to kind of buy an SD card, which I used to have in there.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason it stopped working. So I thought, right, I'll get one that's a Nintendo licensed, approved SD card. Got one. Plugged it in today. Not recognising it.
What?
Yep. So
do you mean to do the wee edge cleaning thing on it?
Take it
away. What's that? Bagger Vance?
Honestly. So I'm
Burt Lancaster,
something like that.
The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Yeah, it just means that I'm going to have to kind of go more physical games than downloadable stuff. So there's that. Some games are. I mean, the game I was looking at getting was Disco Elysium. Don't know if you've heard of it. It's like a kind of RPG type game. It's meant to be brilliant. You can get it for PlayStation 4 and stuff, but I thought I'll get it, but it's only downloadable. I don't think you can get a physical copy of it, but I'm going to have to go down the physical copy of route for the Switch, unless I use the Switch Lite, but that's really Danny's machine.
Yeah.
So, anyway, carry on.
Maybe the contacts need cleaning up. Like get a torch in there and have a wee look and see if it just needs the contacts need cleaning. You maybe get like a very thin bit of paper or something. Like
you go on YouTube. You go on YouTube and people are taking the backs off it and stuff and reconnecting the ribbons or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
It sounds more dirty wires though than reconnecting ribbons, because if it's saying it can't, you plug it in and it says it can't recognize it. Obviously,
no, it doesn't say anything. It's just
it doesn't say anything.
No. Right. It just it's grayed out basically. No, and it says no SD card attached.
Right. So you may have to take the back off it.
Anyway, your news is better news.
Yeah. So anyway, I downloaded Crackdown 3, the most maligned video game ever. It did not get good reviews, and I think people.
Is it because it's a bit far out?
So it was late. It doesn't have half the features that it was advertised. The destructibles and all that kind of stuff was gone. It went through development hell. It started off with like one company, ended up with another company, and some people left, some people stayed, and just a whole bunch of different things happened during the production of it. And then when it did come out, folk were going like, "This isn't any better than the previous two games." But I think
I didn't like it then.
Well, I think I missed two things. The first one
probably all those things you just listed.
Well, okay, let's take them one at a time. This is my review of Crackdown 3, which I give an edge rating of 8 out of 10. So suck on that, the edge. So the first one is it doesn't carry on where the second one left off. Good. I didn't like the second game. Sorry. I didn't like Crackdown 2. There was too many of the freak things. It was a bit weird. Like they just all of a sudden appeared at the start, and it was like they were everywhere, and I didn't like that part of the. They were annoying more than anything else.
Is Crackdown like a GTA thing?
Yeah, it's open world.
Uh-huh.
It's open world superhero kind of thing. The one downside is it starts off
a superhero thing.
Yeah, you're very tutorialized.
Right.
You're very tutorialized. So you play as an agent of the agency. That's how generic it is. I mean, how can you not expect it to be tongue in cheek? You play an agent of the agency. I mean, it is tongue in cheek. So you go through these tutorials, and I'm like, please don't let every level be like this, because this really will kill Crackdown. Because Crackdown is all about the open world. Choose your mission, however you want to do it. You can do it that way. So you go through the first levels. The first two areas are very tutorialized. It's like, hey, go over here and pick this thing up. Hey, go over here and do this thing. And after that, it says the gates of the city are open to you now, agent. Now you have to go and take down Terra Nova. And that's it. You're plonked in the city, which is very similar to the way that Crackdown 1 did. The difference was you started off the agency garage, you got a car, and you took off, and then you had to make your way in the city however you wanted to do it. So from that perspective, I think it's very similar to the first game. There's nothing wrong with the first game. The reason why people, I don't know, hated on it or whatever it was, is they wanted to get it so they could play the Halo 2 demo that came free with it.
Right.
And then they completely ignored Crackdown. And to be honest, I did get Crackdown for that reason, to play Halo 2, the Halo 2 demo. But I never played the Halo 2 demo because I played Crackdown. Because I thought, well, I paid for it. I'm gonna see what this is like. And honestly, it Crackdown 3 feels like Crackdown 1, and that's not a bad thing.
The other Crackdown games aren't on there, are they? I think Crackdown 3 is the only on Game Pass.
No, it's just Crackdown. Yeah, just Crackdown 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so luckily, Crackdown 3 feels like Crackdown 1. I'll tell you why. I played the crap out of Crackdown. Like, I put a lot of hours into Crackdown, and I put little or no hours into Crackdown 2. I didn't like it, and I'm doing the same thing on that I did on Crackdown 1. I'm doing Crackdown 3, which is I only started playing it Wednesday night, I think, and I've put 7 hours into it this week, and it's only Sunday, so that's a lot.
All the young kids will be like, is that? Oh, 7 hours? What are you talking about?
I know.
I've been playing that for like 3 days and not slept.
Yeah. For me, though, that's a lot of time spent.
Oh God, of course, absolutely.
And it's one of those games where you keep thinking about when you're not playing.
Yes.
And that to me is a great game. Like if you can't take your head out of it and keep going back to it, then that's a good game. And it's got all the game. It's all the same gameplay as before. It's like you go, you do this thing. You've got these agility orbs. You can pick up special skills when you basically, it's experience points essentially. And there's different ways to get them for different skills. Skills means kill the agent. That's what the sort of
and you can't beat a game like that where you're thinking about it the next time you're going to play it. You're like,
I know exactly. Yeah. And you play as Terry Crews as well. So I mean, what's not to like?
Ted Cruz.
Terry Crews,
right, sorry.
Ted Cruz. CREWS, not CRUZ.
Big Trump fan. Well, he became a big Trump fan, didn't he?
Ted Cruz, yeah.
Or was Terry. That just a? I don't want to even say it, but
Terry's from 9/9.
Some of the things he said, some of the things Trump said about Ted Cruz, unforgivable, and yet then he became a Trump supporter. Must have been given up. Massive
payoff. Anyway, that's about all we've got, I think. So if you like what you've seen so far, don't forget to give the old like button, share, comment below. What do you think of the news items that we talked about? So what do you think of the Amazon, not the Amazon, the Activision Blizzard merger? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Let us know below. And share on social media as well, because it really does help the channel out. Yes. And we do appreciate that. And if you want timely reminders when we put something new up, then hit the old subscribe button, notification bell, which is just down below, and YouTube will send them to your inbox. But I think that's us. I think that's us.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.